Are you a healthcare entrepreneur that's trying to stand out in a competitive field? Listening into today's episode, as I sat down with Svetlana Durso, a successful practice owner who's sharing her journey and strategies in standing out in a competitive field of aesthetics medicine. Healthcare entrepreneurs, are you ready to rewrite the rules for your business so you can have more time off, a great team, and more income while creating a positive social impact? Then you are in the right place. Welcome to The Provider's Edge. I'm your host, Sabrina Rumbach. I'm a provider, an international peak performance keynote speaker, and a best-selling author. Let's open the gateway to profitability for you today. My guests and I help healthcare entrepreneurs and startup founders like you break through barriers so you can control your business, control your life, and control your future. This is your defining moment to be a disruptor in healthcare. Hi, this is your host, Sabrina Rumbach. Nice to have you guys joining us today. And I have Svetlana Durso here with us. She is a physician assistant. And before that, she's been aesthetics for many, many years, since 2009. And then she wanted to have more of the autonomy, going to more medical side of aesthetics. So she got into PA school and since 2017. And by working in various med spas, different regenerative clinics, she really found her own passion to branch out, be brave, and start her own clinic. And Lana is in Jacksonville, Florida, a sunny side of the state. And now she's running her own clinic. And so excited for you. Thanks for being here, Lana.
Thank you for having me. And hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here.
Perfect. And I know that I can never give people enough of an introduction. So I wanted to learn a bit from your words. What got you into aesthetics and medicine in general? What was the passion that brought you to those places?
So like you, Sabrina, already mentioned, that I was an esthetician for several years before going into PA school. So I worked as an esthetician in Chicago and Philadelphia in medical spas and kind of perform a limited number of treatments, as you know, within the scope of practice of being an esthetician. And then I kind of realized that I want to do a little bit more as far as aesthetic, a little bit more procedures, maybe a little bit more invasive procedures. And I met actually the first PA. I have never known before that PA profession exists. So, and in 2009, I believe I met the PA in one of those med spas, and she was an injector. It happened in Chicago. And I asked her, like, what are you doing? You're not a doctor, you're not a nurse. And she kind of briefly explained. And I was like, oh, I think I may choose this route. It seems like it really works with what I want to do. Long story short, I went to PA school in Drexel. I graduated in 2016 and started in December. So I took my PANCE, passed it, and I started working immediately again in aesthetics, doing different modalities, lasers, facial rejuvenations, all kinds of stuff. And then I kind of realized I love injectables, which is neurotoxins and fillers. And I sort of narrowed myself down to that field. And then I worked more in medical spas after that. And I decided just to go on my own. I thought that's time and I'm ready and I want to do it. And I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I'm doing, what I do, this line of work. And I decided to start my own practice. Yeah. Why I decided to start my own practice and create my own clinic is because I wanted to have this work-life balance. That's the main premises. It was not the money or anything else that was kind of leading me that way. It's more to create that environment for myself that I absolutely love what I do. And I also have time to live my life.
Exactly. I think you talk about a lot, so we're going to unpack a little bit from there. So,
sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I think that's great, right? Like that's how we show passion is, know, this is a topic that you can talk endless. So one thing I want to bring up is we both went to Drexel. and you're 2 years
Yay,
after me. And then that's all before the Hahnemann shut down. And I think it was a great city to be, a great place with so many different other universities, right? You're having the part of the city life, a lot of students, a lot of culture, and helps us to redefine who we are. But for you, it's actually reinformed what you already being on a good path, right? Like you just confirmed this is definitely something that you wanted to be in, because medicine has so many different subspecialties, different ways that we support our community, and then how we identify, how we attract towards certain patient, toward a certain clientele, even by their socioeconomic or by what they are driven for, what they see as the best definition of health. And that's the beauty of being in medicine in the first place. And for you, you're able to say, hey, not just aesthetics, not as this whole dermatology industry in general, I niche down. I actually find the tiniest area that I found most passionate in, and then I rather do that more than anything else. And I think that's very plausible for people out there, just like yourself, to be able to own it, right? Own that part of the sky, part of that authority, part of that skill set to say, I rather just do this because I feel the most joyful, confident in that area, right? And then the next step is, well, if I want this, but at the same time, I want to live the life, because we didn't go to work just to work, right? We went to work to actually enjoy with a family. So we have some kind of financial stability, and part of identity is being a provider. So I really love that part of you. So definitely work-life balance has been tough for many people. And that's why we don't work by ourselves, right? And I know you said you have many staff members. So how does that work? How did you decide how many people you need for your clinic? And then when you start opening the practice, and as you're at this good spot right now?
Yes, it's just kind of a little bit going back to what you've just said about this little area within the area. Like you said, injectables, it is a cosmetic aesthetic medicine. It's a part of that realm, but also it's very small, kind of narrow slice of the aesthetic medicine, right? Because I specifically do not do lasers. I don't do body treatments as far as another modality. I've done it before in the past, working in other places. And that's actually a beauty of it, that because I've been doing all those things, I realized, okay, I like this not so much. I absolutely love this. And that's what I want to be kind of concentrated on. And another thing, if you love doing something, no matter what, you getting better and better at it, because that's where your energy and focus, and that's where you spend your time. That's where you spend your random free time searching something on the internet, but you kind of being always guided to, oh, wait, let me see this procedure, or let me see video threads, or what's up there. And it just kind of happens absolutely naturally and organically. So you don't have to push yourself like, oh, I need to study this or that. It happens just like that. As far as my practice is very small. It's basically me, practice manager, and my front desk. Because my clinic is by appointment only, so I don't have walk-ins or anything like that. I'm not in the retail space. I am in a medical office park here at Jacksonville Beach, actually. People contact me to make an appointment. Right. So I know my schedule. Most of those patients I already know because I've already treated them. Some of them bring in their friends, their family. I get a lot of patients from my Instagram. I have pretty good Instagram presence. I do my own social media, which is very important in this type of medicine. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to be present on Instagram, to show your work, because what I do it's in part medicine and in part art. I'd say it's like a artful medicine or medical art. I don't know, whatever you want to call, but that's a mix of two. And I don't even know, it's a 50-50 or a little bit of, more than half, like art, more or less than half medicine, whatever you want, but about 50-50, I think. So it is very important to show the visuals as what it is, how it can be, because there is some, I've noticed there is some kind of negative connotations in the society about, say, lip filler, right? Everybody, not everybody, but some people, oh, I've seen this and that celebrity or this and that person with this ridiculous duck lip, or so, oh, I don't want that. So that's like a big misconception I'm trying to dispel myself by doing what I'm doing, because it doesn't have to be that way. It can be natural. It can be subtle. It can be a really small change that is very meaningful to you as a patient. It may not be super obvious to everybody else, because what matters is how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your image. It's not about it is important how society perceives you, but most importantly for a person, for this woman who comes to me, is to feel better about her image and about herself. And that's what I'm helping her with.
Exactly. Your bigger mission is patients, and really all of us needed to find, how do we define ourselves to be the natural way of feel good, look good, and also do good, right? Like no matter where we are, especially in medicine, both from a provider standpoint, we have to feel all that at the same time, so we can be the example, the leader, not only for our patients, but really for our team, because people look up to us as we're the person who's running the show, really, right? And then also, we know when studies come out, when the practitioners are not in their best physical, mental, and emotional health, they are transferring those energy into other people. People are intelligent and they can sense it. Despite how well we're holding things down, it will show up some way or other in life, in our business. And that's why it can be challenged to really get down to the root of the nitty-gritty, both getting to know what other people want. And I think that's one of the big conversations I talk to with a lot of my clients as well. When you're running a practice, everything is on you. So how you're able to delegate, how you're leveraging what you do the best and what you connect the most with people, that's shown. And that just bring out the best of us or the worst of us. So why not shift it into the area that you are more aligned to who you are? And then that naturally come out in how we communicate, how we serve, and that's how we create a effective impact instead of all of us are just being busy, right? We can be doing 10,000 things that keep ourselves busy, but that doesn't mean we're actually working on the right thing with the right resource and the right time. So besides, it seems like athletics, across the board has been getting to know what your client wants. And when you're running a small practice, you found the good help of the practice manager, the front desk, and perhaps a billing person, right? To make sure the collection part is there. And even you're just doing cash pay, and then someone has to be able to keep the book straight. Right?
Well, I actually partially do it. It's actually pretty simple because I am cash business. I don't have any relationship with any insurances because it's all elective procedures. It's all cosmetic. So there is no insurance whatsoever, which makes it easier. And I'm generally working with healthy people, more or less happy people, or about to be happy due to the procedures or whatever else I do for my lovely patients who I absolutely love. But yeah, that part is kind of pretty easy. So I don't have to have a billing department or anything or somebody, help me with that. And like you mentioned before, that our role as a provider, no matter what area of medicine we're working at, is to bring the best in you to uplift others instead of being overworked, burned out and down, and actually potentially bring everybody else's down around you. So, and that's what, once I decided to start my own practice, I thought that would be really helpful for me to be happy, to be uplifted, to help others in this emotional way, not only in the cosmetic or aesthetic way, which obviously, of course, I'm definitely doing that too, but also to be more approachable, more available for people if they need some emotional support or help with anything.
Exactly. And then I know us who are running practices, it's not only we're giving impact, it's the more impact we give, the more patient we see, then we can see more the happy faces coming back to us. So for you, I know that's also one of your goals, to be able to see more patients. So what are some of the challenges that you've been facing, and versus what are some things that you've seen work well for you?
So I'm not in a race to grow exponentially within like a certain period of time. I'm actually growing. I am growing, but it's rather organically. So I do have, like I mentioned, pretty good following, and that following brings me more followers because people talk to each other, people discuss, people mention my name, people mention my Instagram. So it's all kind of coming together naturally. I haven't done any Google ads yet. I've never done any kind of campaigns for advertisements yet. Will I do it? I consider. Not sure on it yet. I'm pretty careful about that. I don't want to be in everybody's faces. I don't want to be, overwhelming with my presence. I'd rather be more like a bespoke, more to people try to find me rather than me trying to hunt people down. That's kind of not what I want to do, because I do have a pretty good life-work balance right now. I work about 3 full days a week, and that's really good. It's honestly enough for me. Will I grow a little bit more beyond it? Possibly. I'm also working right now on my training program. I am as advanced injector. I started writing my own manual, my lessons learned as far as the injectable. So I'm trying to create possibly a training program myself and maybe go and train people, other injectors, pass those lessons that I've learned, those techniques and how I do things. So that's another, besides just being an injector and injecting and performing the treatments, that's like another side that I'm working on, is to become a trainer.
Right. So your focus, yes, you want more clients, but on this pace that you want to be. As we all know, when we think about all these different possibilities, we still have to give ourselves that concrete number. So to become more realistic, because that concrete number, for example, how many patients are you seeing now?
So per day, about, I would say 7 to 11.
Okay, that's a good number, right?
Yeah, it's a good number.
Because you have time in between, you're able to set up and then not feel rushed to go to the next patient.
Exactly.
So 7 to 11. So if that's the goal, and then you're consistently, let's say the next goal, you're just consistently hitting 11, right? And instead of having a range that's consistent, and then you have your extra 2 days to say, what's the time I need to commit to either learn from other people or create a menu myself and understand how to create those programs, right? So then it become like, okay, by end of the year, I'm hoping to have the one new aesthetic that I can train the way that I can do it, so I can spread the happiness of how I can create this to someone else, right? And then
I've actually already trained other injectors. It was just more not like an official structured way. Now I'm trying to create my actual, program, not just by talking and showing, but more like a written, everything more, a little bit more structured and organized than it was before. I've already had experience of training, just tried to organize it a little bit better.
Correct. And then the more organized you are, the more you can see how much is the set of time, the set of ways you have to commit yourself with how many people that you can handle, right? And it just makes everything a lot more like on target to say, even I don't have to, even I just train 2 people, I'd be happy because this is the set that time I'm willing to give.
Right.
So that's like the best thing for all of us is understand that there are so many different ideas out there. Once we have that idea, let's make sure it become a reality that, again, work into our own balanced way of what we can give and what we can take. And just make us more joyful, because at the end of the day, we know we can all be more profitable, impactful at the same time without draining. Because every time we shift something, we're shifting our energy, we're shifting our focus.
Right.
So it's great to be in that place to say, I'm not rushing it. It just it's another way that I found that I work really well. And therefore, I can reallocate how I think, how much time to make another organizational plan that can create another impact that's aligned with what I'm already doing. So I think that's awesome. So for everyone, of course, if some of the challenges just get it done. And some other people is like, I wanted to optimize in other ways. So my existing team is happier. My clients, they even see more possibility, right? So in what way are you up-leveling more? Like which area do you want to up-level?
Well, like I said, I want to move into sort of directions to be an injector and a trainer. So another thing is may potentially, sometimes that's like a more long-term plan, possibly franchise. My name of my practice is Studio Lana. So there is a possibility maybe to replicate if what I'm doing is successful, which as far as of now it is, but possibly to kind of replicate that model and help others to achieve their goals if they want to be what I'm doing now, if they want to pursue the same line of work and a career. There's a possibility for that. A little bit more remote because it takes probably more work. It will take. But, everything is achievable as long as you put your mind and time in it.
Right. I think you're on the right track. And many people did start just where you are. You create a one success model, and then you can duplicate that. And then you know exactly how many people, how much resource, how much energy go into each one. And then you become someone who step away from the clinician part, but actually the executive part. And at the end of the day, this is why we have this show, is to interview practice owners who have made a level of success. And one measurement we told that is the $250,000 mark. And then it's about how do we expand, whether it's in the growth phase of multiplying or scale phase means we keep the same resources, we're able to make more profit or more impact in different way. So it's seeing that future vision that makes us all warm, fuzzy hearted again, and to be able to be the best provider we can be, at the same time engage with our patients. And then also at the end of the day, it's also about our family, right? So to be able to live the life that we want to. And the biggest goal has been for me is that everyone can be able to step away for 4 weeks at a time. And then your practice should still run on its own. And whatever that looks for you, that is how we define success. So I'm glad that you're able to share your work with us and share the joy of your vision and for teaching, for expansion, for franchising in the future. How can people get in touch with you?
Well, I do have Instagram. I do have email. I do have any way. I have a website. It's just a landing page. That's another thing I'm going to need to work on. It doesn't seem to me that having an elaborate, fancy website helps in any ways tremendously or hurts. I feel like it's just kind of right now for me on pause. But any of those ways, even the cell phone number, you have my cell phone number, right?
I think so. So
because I got a text to confirm the meeting. So any of those ways, please connect with me. Email, Insta, phone number, any of those are just fine.
Okay, awesome. I know you're focusing on growing more of your Instagram. So definitely, I would suggest the primary way people get in contact with Lana on her Instagram. And so you can see all the amazing work she's doing. And if you wanted to learn from her, and I'm sure she's going to be so willing and excited to talk to you about her journey and how you can do the same. I'm excited for everyone to be here to listen to our story. And I hope that you feel joyful and hopeful for you if you're someone who are in the aesthetic world or someone who has already started your own practice, because we are here to encourage each other, to learn from each other, and then grow together. And when we're not practicing in solo, then we can accelerate together. So appreciate you guys. We don't ask you to pay us anything, but to pay it forward. Please share with this episode with other colleagues of yours who might also enjoy the messages that we're sharing. And until next time, bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you for listening. Remember, the positive change we're seeking starts right here with me and you. If you are a fan of the show, or if you are just having struggles or success that you're either experienced in the past or are experiencing now in the healthcare industry, these matter to all of us. I want to hear from you. Visit SabrinaRombach.com/connect and send me a direct message. Talk soon.